I'm Ettore, a Rocketeer, and today I'll interview the BME Aerospace Budapest University of Technology and Economics Rocketry in Hungary.
In the heart of Budapest, an ambitious and dedicated team develops supersonic sounding rockets. Innovation, precision, and teamwork. This is the BME Aerospace Team, the team you should get to know. Founded in 2021, the team is now focusing on the development of the EttoCraft sounding rocket platform based on rocketry experience from the past years. The vision of the BME Aerospace Team is to introduce rocketry sports in Hungary and to pave the way for future generations of students to get involved in rocket sciences.
Could you please introduce yourself with your name and what you do in your team?
Thanks for having me, Etto. My name is András. András Illyés. I'm the team leader of the BME Aerospace Team, and I also work in the electronics department. We are a team of 18 members with rockets, sounding rockets of more than 3 years now. But this exact team, BME Aerospace Team, has been formed in 2021 with the goal of paving the way for future generations in rocketry and, of course, competing at, for example, EuRoC.
The team's design philosophy is based on two pillars. One relates to the implementation of R&D activities in incremental stages to support our long-term vision with the EttoCraft family. The other relates to the execution of product development at the same time. In addition to engineering novelties, great emphasis is placed on the scientific aspects of the project. A pioneering biomedical and a breakthrough atmospheric experiment will also be implemented to increase the scientific value of the project. Broadening the horizon of sounding rocket experiments with such scientific payloads requires innovative thinking, an undoubtedly key characteristic of the team.
How can someone start a rocketry or space team in a university?
We don't exactly have an aerospace faculty, you are right. We also have space and aerospace activities at different faculties. For example, the Faculty of Electrical Engineering or the Mechanical Engineering faculty. And of course, there is a Faculty of Transportation Engineering and Vehicle Engineering, where there are different departments researching and teaching aerospace subjects and different topics. So we didn't start an aerospace team connected to a specific faculty or department. Rather, we are a university-wide aerospace team.
How's the studying in your country, and can you study in English?
Yeah, there are different, or there are several English courses, and I think you can do a master's degree in English. That's for sure. On the bachelor's level, I am not sure if you can do everything in English. Maybe there are some areas where it's only in Hungarian. But on the master's level, there are so many English courses. And for example, on the bachelor's level, you can study German. For example, that's what I did. I think we have many Erasmus students at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics as well, and many of us also abroad for studying, for example, on the Erasmus program. Me personally studied a year in Karlsruhe, Germany, in German. So there are also different English courses, but I studied there German as well because I started here studying in German too. So yes, many students here have different Erasmus experiences, I think, mainly in the master's level, but that's fine as well.
What are your job opportunities in your university?
Hungary is an ESA member, is a full ESA member since a couple of years now. So with this, of course, we have many opportunities outside Hungary as well, but inside Hungary, so in Hungary, there are also a handful of space companies, mainly in telecommunications, satellite technology, mainly in the electronics part of this aerospace industry. Maybe we can call it rather space than aerospace, because we of course have some aero industry like aerostructure companies and these kind of things. In the space sector, Hungary mainly works in the electronics part, so it's not that aerospace because we don't have companies developing, let's say, thrusters or these kind of things, rocket engines, let's say. Rather, we have many electronics companies and a really good heritage, space exploration and space industry as well, with telecommunications, satellite technology, power supply units. Many satellites power supply unit has been made by Hungarian researchers or companies, many ESA satellites, and NASA probes as well have communication units, or for example. So it's a good network, I think.
What high school did you attend?
It was a, let's say, general high school, so there wasn't any specialization in rocketry or space. I was specializing in maths, physics, chemistry, so in natural sciences, biology as well, but nothing special aerospace thing. Although I had the opportunity to do some experiments with classmates during high school. For example, we did methodological balloon experiments. We developed our own onboard computer. It was a data logging and transmitting device. So we had this kind of, let's say, small high school projects, but there wasn't a really explicit specialization for space. But it was a good start for me, and I'm really happy that I attended this high school. It was the purest high school of Budapest.
What are your team's goals and strengths?
We would like to pave the way for future generations, besides our short-term goals as well. So I think rocketry is in its early stages in Hungary as a hobby or a sport. So it's a long-term thing for us to bring it to more and more people. On the short term, we would like to, of course, compete at EuRoC, for example, and this kind of rocket competition, because it's really nice that Portugal Space started this competition here in Europe. We would like to build this university team that way that it is future students as well. So it must be sustainable. And these are our main key points. Let's say competing on rocket competitions, building a sustainable team which will be capable in the future for other projects. Maybe I think we are not there yet. We'll see what the future brings, and on the long term, bringing rocketry to.
How can someone join your team?
Always have an application round in every semester or every year. It depends. Probably every semester. And basically, people or students can apply to us. We are mainly looking for university students or young professionals, maybe after university. So they can apply to us for different positions. It's not like you can apply to us and then decide what you would like to do. It's more like we have open positions, and if you like them, you can join us in those positions. It's really important to manage us well, because we are doing it besides our university studies, besides work. So we don't have infinite time to work on this rocketry projects. That's why really good management is needed. This is why we would like to have everything set up for a new member. So a candidate can apply to us if she likes one of our open positions in that semester, and then there are around for motivational letters, interview as well, and then there is an onboarding phase for 6 to 8 weeks while we try to integrate him or her in our team. And after that, she must take an exam, so we can test the candidate's knowledge, which she was able to gather during that onboarding phase. So it's a really planned and it's a well-planned method for recruitment. But of course, we are welcoming everyone who wants to join us and applying, coming to an interview, writing a motivational letter. Of course, it's for everyone, and then the best from these interviews can come to us and then join on the onboarding, and then come to our teamwork and integrating new team members. Yeah, that's a really necessary thing, because teamwork must be the basis of everything. We can talk about high-end innovation and really good precision and everything, and management, but if there is no teamwork, then it won't be a good team, of course. So we try to integrate them both personally and of course into management system as well, with different softwares and these kind of things. And this is done because we would like to have our team members for at least 1 year, and we would like to have them participating in a full 1 year project, and because this is the way they can really contribute to the team.
How do you manage your team?
We use different softwares, of course, for communication, both written communication and, of course, for teleconferences. Although we try to organize as many meetings as possible in person, because it's always more, not always, but most of the time, better to organize a meeting in person, at least based on our experiences. It's more effective. So we have, of course, in-person meetings, but we have softwares for written and voice and video communication as well. And besides that, we use softwares for managing tasks. This is how we can do a work breakdown structure and have everyone knowing what he or she can do in the forthcoming couple of weeks. Basically, this is how we manage our team. We have a high-level time plan, and then we have shorter periods, let's say sprints, if we want to say it that way, for shorter goals. That's a really easy way to manage a team. Easy, yeah. Let's say it's easier to think about it this way, at least based on our experiences.
How's the experimental rocketry and space community in your country?
In our country, there are a couple of 100 people, let's say, working experimental rocketry, or maybe we should better say modern rocketry or hobby rocketry, or I don't know which is the best wording for this, but a couple of hundred are the core of the rocketry community here in Hungary, and I would like to have more and more people joined in the future, so we would like to have this with our team as well.
Where do you test your rockets?
On different launch sites in Hungary. To ask you about this OpenLaunchInitiative, because I'm interested about it. If you can tell me a couple of things about it, or when did you start working on it, or how is it right now? So please, if you can give me a status update or something like that, it would be really.
So the idea was from Josiah Coy, a member of the Astra Bremen. He thought since spaceports costs a lot of money, to make the math simple, let's say it's $100,000. If one team goes there, it will spend $100,000, and so on all the other teams too. If all the teams go there, let's say there are 10 teams, then they share the price. We need to find good spaceport now for what we need. And I think we've got about 20 teams interested. It's a very good price, mostly relative to 100,000. I think we will start like in 2023. There might be some ideas in the future, like making sort of a competition, like, or a challenge. There are many ideas. You can make like, I don't know, like who goes highest competition for the ones who want to go to the Kármán line.
Okay, that's cool. Let's see then what the future brings. It's a really cool idea.
Would you like to join the Open Launch Initiative?
Yeah, that's a cool initiative. In my opinion, it would be nice to have a launch site where we can launch, for example, to heights of 50 or 100 kilometers. For this reason, yeah, of course, it's a really good initiative.
How do you promote your team?
Mainly use our Facebook page, our Instagram page, a website, and we also have a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is it has been set up a couple of weeks ago, so it's not that built up, but our Facebook and Instagram page is up and running, and we are promoting online. We are promoting online on these pages and these areas. For offline promotion, we mainly use posters at our university, and of course we are using the press or media as well. For example, magazines or radios or TV channels for promoting our activities.
How do you do your technical review process after the launch debriefing?
It's a good question. We have implemented NASA's review system. It's a well-known review system with this kind of reviews: preliminary design review, critical design review, and there are several design reviews. It's not exactly the same what EuRoC uses, but kind of the same. It's a bit more than what EuRoC uses, but for us it's better usable, so we implemented this kind of process. We have document templates, we have exact team positions for different team members in charge for different subsystems of the rocket, and we will do the technical review as we do every other review as well.
Would you like to join other rocket competitions?
Yeah, maybe. Why not? This year we are focusing on EuRoC, of course, but later, why not?
How much do you build your rocket yourself, and how much do you outsource to sponsors?
Of course, we are working with sponsors in manufacturing as well. We try to we actually build the rocket parts, which are ourselves, which are necessary, really necessary, so key components for us, where we would like to put some innovation into it. But I try to explain it a bit better. So for us, we are mainly working, our team's expertise is mainly in the area of telecommunications, for example. So our onboard computer and communication unit, onboard computers to be exact, are made by us. But we do not want to bother with other types of the rocket where we can already buy really good components. So yeah, that's it. We don't want to over-engineer.
How do you make your prototypes?
CAD softwares, of course, on the hardware engineering side, with PCB design softwares in the electronical electrical side, and we of course also run simulations, mainly written in MATLAB, for example, but we use also other simulation softwares. But we try to avoid developing a whole new full function software with every functionalities. As I already said before, we are avoiding over-engineering everything. So if there is a software that exists for a known purpose, for example, I don't know, PCB design software or something like that, we don't start engineering and building up an own thing, but we use softwares already.
Do you use a commercial engine or do you make your own engine?
For the EuRoC competition, we use a commercial off-the-shelf engine in the solid 9 kilometer category.
Do you have your own PCB?
Yeah, we designed a custom PCB.
How do you transfer data from the rocket to a ground station?
We use at least two data transfer methods, but at least two different methods to avoid interference. Of course, we use antennas in the ISM band. So, for example, at 433, 438 megahertz, it's of course tunable, and the 868 megahertz.
How do you make your launch rail?
At EuRoC, we will use the launch rail provided by EuRoC. I think that's the easiest way. So we only develop a launch rail to use it here in Hungary for testing and launching. And it's designed and made by us, and it features on-rail charging as well. So the rocket can stand on the launch rail for several hours before launch as well, without losing its battery capacity. We have a recovery system with two parachutes, a drop chute, which opens nearly at apogee, around apogee, and a main chute that opens at a lower height in order to slow the descending rocket. This recovery system is designed and made by us, and this is a very important part of the rocket. So it really needs testing and testing and testing, because this is where everything can go wrong. At last year's EuRoC, I think just 2 teams managed to get their rockets all right down to the ground with a proper recovery. So it's not an easy task. So we are testing it really much. Because of course it's testing, but it's also made by us. So an extensive testing is really needed.
In addition to engineering novelties, great emphasis is placed on the scientific aspects of the project. A pioneering biomedical and a breakthrough atmospheric experiment will also be implemented to increase the scientific value of the project. Broadening the horizon of sending rocket experiments with such scientific payloads requires innovative thinking, an undoubtedly key characteristic of the team. But chasing new ideas can easily ruin any project. To ensure that the project is always on track and the developed technologies meet the performance requirements, NASA's design review system was implemented. Even the highest levels of innovation and precision cannot make up for the lack of teamwork, which is the foundation of the BME Aerospace.
What payload do you use?
We have 2 payloads, a biomedical experiment, an atmospheric experiment. The atmospheric experiment is it's a physical experiment measuring atmospheric data, and yeah, we have also a biomedical experiment, which I think is a really new thing. It will be a new thing at EuRoC, as far as I know, and it gives the project a whole new level of complexity, because we don't just have to engineer things, but also consult with researchers, biomedicine. So it's really cool stuff. The form factor, we have a custom form factor for these kind of payloads. So we don't, CubeSat or CubeSat form factor, but we will fit in a custom way these two payloads in the rocket.
Do you play Kerbal Space Program?
That's a good question. No, I didn't have the chance to play it, but I have many friends, different space communities here in Hungary and across the globe as well, who played or currently playing Kerbal Space Program. I think it's a cool and funny game, but me personally didn't have the chance to play it.
Do you have any big announcements or dreams?
Right now, I think not. We are a really new team. So, at first this year, I think we should compete at EuRoC and show ourselves to the international jury, and then we later can talk about dreams and these kind of things. This year, we are mainly focusing on this, let's say, product development, developing a rocket for EuRoC. Which is a really operative task, and because we are doing it for the first time at this scale, we don't want to have a too big task on our shoulders. So currently, no let's say long-term dreams or this kind of things. We just would like to compete at EuRoC, and of course build 100% well-functioning device.
What are your favorite space movies?
I like every movie in the topic of space and science fiction and these kind of movies, because they are cool, and it's always good to think about what humankind have already done and what we may do in the coming years. Although I barely have time for watching movies, maybe 2 or 3 movies a year or something like that, not much. But what I more often do is watching space videos on YouTube, because they are shorter and they are I think better to learn. So I often watch space videos on YouTube for learning. Here I can mention I think very well known channels like Everyday Astronaut, for example, who has and also had in the past videos. But there are also many other YouTubers outside creating space content, so I'm always open for YouTube videos and in every space topic.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you too as well.